Cardinals at Seahawks.
One of these teams has an identity, one doesn't. I like Arizona +1. They know what they are. They're playing great defense. They're averaging 27 a game almost in this 4-game winning streak. They've won 4 straight and 5 of 6, and they're playing really good offensive football. Number 5 rushing offense in the league. So it's not all Kyler Murray. They are a physical, tough running team. And the Seahawks are on a 4-game home losing streak. They have no identity. What is Seattle? I feel like I get Arizona and a point. They're the better team. I think they may have the better coach. They have the better defense. They have the better quarterback. And again, I like teams that have an identity. I think Arizona's grown into, they know what they are. They are a very good run team that plays very good defense. Oh, yeah, they have a star quarterback. I think Arizona wins, could be comfortably 30-24. I really like this team, and they're fun to watch. Arizona I'll take by 6.
All right. My expectations have really officially been truly elevated for the Arizona Cardinals. So what I'm about to say, please understand what I'm saying. They absolutely need and should win this game. If they have officially graduated into this, yeah, we are winning the division. And not only are we winning the division, but we are absolutely a threat to win playoff games. We're not just this team where it's like, oh, gee golly, we won the division, and now we're going to get rocked first round of the playoffs. Like, no. We are a legitimate team with legitimate ballers on both sides of the ball. We're well coached, well organized. This is not the Cardinals of the past. Like, we are here. Let's go. Kyler Murray is a top quarterback in the NFL. And yeah, we are not 100% dependent on him now. We have a more balanced approach. We have a legitimate head coach who knows how to get us ready for games. Like, here we are. And I know it's a divisional game, all that type of stuff. But it's just like, here we are. And I think if the Cardinals can win a game like this convincingly, continue to be playing at such a high level, it really sends a message. Because I think a lot of people throughout this season have kind of really just kind of like looked at the Cardinals as kind of like, yeah, they have had a couple good games, good performances, but like, I don't know how many people are taking them seriously, right? I mean, if you asked the average fan, general fan now, or media member, who's going to win in the playoffs, Cardinals or Packers, Cardinals or Lions, Cardinals or Eagles, right? Like, I think almost every single person will say, the Cardinals aren't going to win. They can maybe make it fun or competitive, but nah, I'm going with the Packers. I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Lions. I'm going with whoever is at the top of the NFL right now, at the NFC. And I think, like, that's what it is. You get some lip service when talking about the Cardinals. Yeah, Kyler Murray's been playing really great, and the Cardinals have some really nice wins. And then it kind of, like, doesn't go much beyond that. And to be fair, I think the Seahawks are... I never really bought into the Seahawks, but also to be fair, I think they're better than what I thought they were going to be going into this season. Geno Smith has honestly impressed me, quite frankly. But I do think that this is a spot because the Seahawks are favored by 1. And again, I know these games can sometimes get close and tough and can get weird as we see all around the league for these divisional games. But I think that if the Cardinals really want to establish themselves as we are a significantly better team than people understand, we actually have a legit roster. We're well coached. We know what we're doing offensively. We have our identity, as Colin keeps highlighting. So we know what we need to do. We can execute these games. Stop counting us out. Like, this should be a game that, we actually should be favored by like 2. Because we are that much better. We are that more composed. We have the significantly better quarterback. Don't put Geno Smith on Kyler Murray's level. Like, get out of here with this nonsense. Don't forget who this guy is, right? Like, that's the message that you get to send with the win. And I'm not trying to oversell a Week 12 game in this, but it's just my expectations and what I potentially can see out of the Cardinals has just changed and been more solidified. I was always kind of very much like, hey, the Cardinals can make some moves and make some noise. But as I continue to see them play, I'm kind of just like, listen, they can really actually make some moves here. Like they can actually be this team that people were like, wow, what is going on? And in a lot of ways, it could be very similar. I may have said this before, but it's very similar to kind of like what happened with the Packers last year, where it was like, hey, the Packers got really hot. Jordan Love, people were kind of like figuring out who is Jordan Love, what's going on here. And then they obviously get to the playoffs, dominate the Cowboys on the road, had a chance to beat the 49ers. Quite frankly, they should have beaten the 49ers, and they would have been the NFC Championship game. So it's just going to be interesting to see where the Cardinals are, because quite frankly, they should be past than what the Packers were, because they have a more established, seasoned roster who have been there before, with a coach who's been there before. I mean, granted, the Packers had a coach as well, but it was with a different quarterback entirely. And I think when you're when you're an offensive head coach and you have some of that experience, it's going to be interesting how it needs to translate with a young pseudo rookie quarterback, first year starter. As where if you're a defensive head coach who has this experience, I think the way you're going to be able to prepare for that game and get your team ready will be a little bit more transferable. But it's, you know, who honestly knows? It can be tough, honestly, either way. But yeah, this is going to be a fun game to watch, and I just think the Cardinals can really separate themselves and put themselves in the actual conversation of now of like, okay, this is a real team. This isn't just like a fun little story. This isn't just a team all the way out in Arizona that people can dismiss. This is a team that you have to prepare for, that you do not want to face in the playoffs. And, you know, if you do, you want to make sure that you got home field advantage so you can do your best to take care of business. So I'm curious to see if they can bring this home. Honestly, I really am. And I think because of all those reasons, it makes a Week 12 game like this actually matter even more so than it just being like, of course, a divisional game. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Arizona Cardinals? Do you think this game has like pretty strong takeaways and implications? And, you know, do you think they should be favored actually? I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that they're not favored for just because people think that the Cardinals aren't as good, or that they think that the Seahawks are better than I'm giving them credit for? Like that's also what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what do you think the general consensus is these days of who the Arizona Cardinals are? Because Colin even talked about a little bit earlier, like nobody talks about the Cardinals. They're just not that popular. And so I'm just curious as to like what you think the overall consensus is of who they are as a team and what their potential is. So let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really, really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.